Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. I wasn't going to do a video quite right today. I was going to make one later tonight, but I've been out whacking weeds, and this idea just came to me. Actually, it's kind of something that I've been spinning around in the back of my mind for a little while. My neighbor, matter of fact, I'm going to let you join me in something here before I talk about idiots, weeds, and whatever, and buffalo sweat. Maybe that's what I'll talk about. Picked up what's called an oatmeal cream stout called buffalo sweat. I don't usually drink beer or anything else during the day when I'm working. There's only a few times that I really enjoy it, and that's when I'm stinking hot and sweaty, and I am stinking hot and sweaty. You're glad that you're not sitting here with me if you're downwind. But occasionally then I like something like this. I've never had this before. And so I'm going to try it right here with you because, as you know, on my nighttime ones, I often try these things. And you people that say, what do you keep talking about that? I'm here to talk about, hey, listen about preparedness. Well, here on Integrative Preparedness, we're kind of a community, okay? We kind of talk to each other, and I ramble on, and I eventually get to my point. And then if you read down in the comments, you'll see what smart people we have here that are adding to it and asking questions. And that brings me to this point, and that's thought, which is welcome to all of you new people. We've got just a bunch of them both here and on Patreon. If you want to join us on Patreon, which is an even more kind of specialized community, the link's down there. So if you remember on some of my nighttime ones, I tried some different beers and stouts, and I was talking about how I don't particularly like Guinness. But I liked Murphy's, and so a lot of you gave me good suggestions. Nobody suggested this. I stumbled across this. Anyway, it's called, now we're in Kansas, so if we were going to brew something here, what else would we call it but buffalo sweat, right? It is buffalo sweat oatmeal cream stout. I have no idea what that means. But I guess I'll find out in a minute, and I'll tell you about it. It is brewed by Tallgrass Brewing Company, which around here in Kansas, a lot of things are called tallgrass because of the tall prairie grass, right? And it is put out by the Wichita Brewing Company down in Wichita, Kansas. All right, I love the can, right? Well, let's see if I love what's inside the can. It looks good. Boy, some foam just popped up there on top there, nice and brown. Maybe in a second I'll tell you a story about the rushing rivers and streams in the north of Ireland. Let's see how this is. Oh, that's good. That is good. That's good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Murphy's. It's not bitter like Guinness is. Be right back. Oh man, okay. I know this is going to look as good in a pint glass as it tastes out of a can, and I will love the look of that. In the north of Ireland, the soil is so peaty rich that the streams, which are just rushing towards the North Sea off of the mountains, they're dark brown. The water is brown. It looks like Guinness or Murphy's, probably like buffalo sweat. And the froth, because it's tumbling over the stones and everything, the froth is that brownish gold foam like you get in a good head of stout, right? Oh, I can't wait to... Okay, I'm going to get to my point here in just a second. One more of these. If you like stout and you can find buffalo sweat close where you are, if you live in Kansas, you ought to be able to find it, right? Probably down in Oklahoma, I would guess. Maybe in eastern Colorado. Maybe in southern Nebraska, who knows? Get some. You'll like it. Okay, now to this. Idiots, weeds, and buffalo sweat. You know the old saying about God must have loved idiots because he made so many of them? Isn't that the truth? Now, I've been out here weed whacking weeds in my backyard all morning. And of course, when you get doing something like that, you start thinking, right? And I talk to God and hope he talks back. Well, he always talks back to me. Sometimes I can hear it, sometimes I can't, right? Depends on what else we've got in our mind or whether we're really listening. But I live in a community to where all of the yards look like a finely groomed golf course, except for mine. As a matter of fact, the guy down on the corner, he's a retired colonel, and he's a marshal down in the Masters. So these guys, I mean, they're all about their yards, and most of the people have professional companies take care of them. But the guys that really care about their lawns, they cut it themselves, and some of them cut it every day. They're retired. But anyway, they all look great except for mine. The front yard doesn't look bad. Second son keeps that up pretty well. But the backyard is kind of my domain, and with the rains and me being busy, it looks. I'm looking out there to see if a tiger's coming through it. So as I was out there sweating and mowing down those weeds, I got to thinking about weeds and grass and idiots and normal people and things like, how your mind will wander like that. And you always think that there's a great point in there, and sometimes there is. We deal with a lot of idiots. Our life is full of idiots, just like my backyard is full of weeds. Now, what we do to get rid of things in this situation is I put on a weed and feed. I didn't do it in the backyard this year. Time got away from me. We had a really wet spring. Not making excuses. Wah, 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 right? I had a lot of things to do. You got to prioritize. And we do it ourselves because I'm not going to spend as much in lawn care as I would on a fourth child. So I'm dealing with the consequences right now. But when I get all this down, I'll start the regimen again. And it got me thinking about what I do, what people do to keep down the weeds and nourish their grass. And, of course, Scott's Weed and Feed is a great one. And what that does is it kills the weeds and it nourishes the grass. Well, it occurred to me then that that's exactly what our pushing back against the opposition does. I've talked about, and other people have talked about, that Sean Baker guy just made a great one on this. Thank you for whoever of you turned me on to him. I've put up one of his over on Patreon and suggested everybody watch him. Sharp guy. So he's been added to my short list of watch everyday people. But when I talked about how we have to start pushing back on people, we can't, the opposition, the socialist, communist, Marxist, liberal, whatever, they have pretty much had the field to themselves for a long time. They have set the tone, they have set the subject, they've gotten to the point to where if you disagree with them at all, you are just smothered with opposition, either with people who will, actively attack you, I mean verbally, well, sometimes physically, right? Or those who feel like you do won't stand up. They won't get into the mix because, it's already a whole bunch against you, and they don't want to, for the most part, people aren't that strong to want to join a fight on the weak side, what they perceive to be the weak side. And so you're left to fight the battle. And I explained that it's important that we keep standing up and that we get more verbal, that we get more active, first off, in our defense of our positions, and secondly, in making them, actually this is probably first, make them defend their position. Attack their position, make them defend it, and then be able to defend ours. Excuse me, I don't usually talk that fast that much. A little more buffalo sweat's gonna fix it. So, I saw something the other, so a lot of people, understand that we need to be up in our face. I saw something the other day. I was with a group, and this guy, who feels very much like I do on things, he just started making fun of the other side, and you all know what all those subjects are, and you know why I'm staying away from from saying that right here. I don't need to spell it out. Everybody knows. He just started making fun of the other side. I mean, he was going red line on that. He was going all out, and he was surrounded by people who were of the other ilk. Right now, there was a bunch of us there who were on our side, but I guess he had just had enough, and he just started going to town on them, and it was amazing to watch what happened. You know, in the past, where one person might say something and supporting a conservative position, and all these people go, "I can't believe you did. He's not my president," and I can't, you know, and so that just makes the person go, "Where?" No, man, this guy was taking it to him, and you never saw such loud silence in your life from this other side. I mean, they were, if they had had tails, they'd have been tucked between their legs as they kind of first off stood there in shock, not believing that somebody would actually verbalize these thoughts to where everybody could hear. And then as their little brain started to be able to process it, and they thought, oh my God, we're under attack. What do we do now? Because we're used to being the ones under attack, you know, and the other side scurrying off. They scurried. And you know what? All the other guys that were, and I was in a position to where I really shouldn't have said anything. I would have loved to jump in, but it wasn't. I won't explain why, but I was in a position where I really shouldn't have. And the other people that were kind of, you know, that feel like we do, they were like, whoa, hey, nice job. You know what that is? That is killing the weeds and feeding the grass. That's what that is. We need to do both. And by engaging these people in their combat of choice, which is words, okay? And a lot of us don't do, you know, that well with words because we're mostly people of action. But, you know, getting better at that war of words, that's what we do. As we do that, as we engage them more, it's not only going to, and I don't mean, you know that I don't mean literally kill. What I mean is kill the argument. Reduce the weeds that are going to pop up through the grass. But not only do we do away with those, that feeds the other leaves of grass that are around them. I'm sure that what this guy did the other night, I know it did. He emboldened others that saw that and who were there to do it themselves. So this is exactly what we need to do. There's really no deeper or more special meaning than that. Get up, know what we're talking about, and be willing and ready and able to engage these people and to do it as aggressively as we need. Now, if we don't have to be rude, let's don't be rude. If we don't have to ridicule, let's don't ridicule. But there's a time for that too. And like I said, remember what I talked the other day about the Celts had special bards who specialized in ridicule, because there are a few things that can demoralize an opposition more than ridicule that they can't come back on and that other people start joining in on against them. So whatever it takes, the future of our country, the future of our families are too important to leave anything on the sidelines. You know, you got to put it all on the field. Get out there and get at it. And I hope this will make you think maybe about how you can do some of that yourself. Let me know. Let everybody know. Comment. Talk about it down here. If you've done something like that, put it down here in the comments. If you're thinking about doing it, put it down in the comments. If you've seen somebody do something like this, put it down in the comments. The battle is on, and we can win. There's no reason in the world that we shouldn't walk away with this once we're engaged. Okay, so get engaged and go on and do it. Anyway, I still have about a half a can of this to go, and I'm going to enjoy it. One more. for you to enjoy with me. I'm almost tempted to go in and get a glass so I can pour it in front of you, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe another time if you think you might like it. That's Buffalo Sweat from Tallgrass Brewing down in Wichita. And with that, I'll say good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And preparing today for a good day tomorrow is getting rid of those weeds and fertilizing the good grass. So you all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.